Good evening and welcome to the September 11th, 2025 meeting of the Penfield Planning Board. We'll begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thanks everyone for coming. Just a little bit of housekeeping information. If you're not a regular here, one of the tens of thousands of regulars that usually attend our meetings, we typically start off going through our tabled agenda items between 6:30 and 7, and then the public hearing begins at 7. If we finish our tabled items, we'll move directly into the public hearing immediately following that. If we're not done with the tabled items by 7, we'll pause those and go into the public hearing. Michelle, would you please call the roll?
Hetzke.
Hetzke here.
Aken.
Aken here.
Burton.
Burton here.
Kanauer.
Kanauer here.
Sangster.
Sangster here.
Weissar.
Weissar here.
O'Connor.
O'Connor here.
Prinzing.
Prinzing here.
Perigno here.
Okay, we have minutes from the August 14th meeting. If we could, hopefully everyone's had an opportunity to review them and maybe.
Motion to approve?
We have a second?
I'll second.
Hetzke.
Hetzke, aye.
Aken.
Aken, aye.
Burton.
Burton, aye.
Kanauer.
Kanauer, aye.
Okay, Doug, would you like to go through the tabled agenda?
All right, tabled application number 1, the Northrup Penfield solar application. Staff still reviewing the latest set of plans. PRC comment should be coming here shortly from our project review committee. Staff has reviewed the noise and glare studies and agree with its conclusions. I believe one of the other pieces of information the board had asked for and has been on coming was with regard to the board's request to remove as many of the above ground poles as possible on the site. The applicants did hear back from our Genie specifically for this site. The current design would require that 4 poles remain on site, potentially a 5th, and I believe that comes down to the recloser or some piece of equipment that may be required to be pole mounted.
Okay.
I believe the last open item is the board's discussion on any potential buffering. I know there's been a request for additional buffering along the west side of the project. There's some concern from the residents, specifically the ones, the southern residents have more of a buffer than the northern residents, but some of the residences are fairly close to the property line. The agricultural fence, while in keeping with the architectural feel of sort of East Penfield or the East Penfield area, doesn't provide a lot of visual buffering. So I know
we had Bruce look at this and comment.
I believe we did. Let me double check. I want to say his comments were relatively minor.
I wonder if he could comment on the buffering. There's also conservation easements on the east side of most of the residential properties, correct?
That is correct. Yes.
So officially they can't.
All of the east side
That's supposed
of
to be a
Rocco
natural
Pines.
state.
Yeah.
No.
All of the east side of Rocco Pines has a variable width conservation easement that was required as part of their 278 clustering for the application.
Okay.
Bruce did provide comments on the solar facility. One was regarding the spacing of the Spartan junipers and emerald green arborvitaes, just to ensure that they're not growing into each other. The other is their location outside of the security fence. Arborvitaes tend to be eaten by deer and can be defoliated.
Okay.
So his recommendation would be to place them inside the security fence. It would make it more difficult for deer to get in there and chew on them.
Okay.
But we can provide or specifically request that Bruce comment on the adequacy of buffering.
Yeah, I'd say if there's something that can be done to help with that, that'd be great.
Doug, one of the questions I had, and probably you could get back to the applicant, and this was based on RG&E's response. I'm curious why one project would require 4 poles, possibly 5, and the other 2 poles, possibly 3.
Yes, that's something we could certainly
So
ask.
if we could ask that question.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other things before we table?
I think buffering the poles, I had a question on. Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay.
Okay, so I would move that we continue tabling this application.
I'll second.
Hetzke,
Hetzke, aye.
Aken,
Aken, aye.
Burton,
Burton, aye.
Kanauer.
Kanauer, aye.
Okay. Moving on to the Harris Road.
Yep, so the application number 2 is the Harris Road Solar. Basically everything I stated with Northrup stands for this one. Staff is still reviewing the plans. I believe a project review committee memo should be coming out here shortly on the most recent set of plans. As Bob pointed out, for this one, RG&E did respond that 2 poles, potentially 3 poles would remain. We can ask the applicant why, what the difference is that would require.
2 to 3 versus 4 to 5.
Yeah.
Yep. I believe some of it comes down to there are certain things that can sort of go either way, can either be pole mounted or placed into a pad mounted unit. And I don't know if it's just there's a technical feasibility with the different sites that changes that.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Right. There's
This
another
is-
one that buffering.
Yeah, so this one, specifically, they are proposing to do additional buffering on the north side with staggered plantings, as well as on the west side, there is for 1940, there is a physical gap where there isn't really any vegetation at all, right along that boundary, where they're proposing to do a single row of, I believe, arborvitaes. But I know that we have received public feedback from some of the other neighbors that they would also like additional buffering, especially on the west side. I do know the applicant stated that they will be doing some earthwork as part of this, and that they may, while they weren't anticipating to have much excess that they would be spreading around the site, there is the possibility
That they could raise it. put a
maybe
little
raise
berm.
up that side. There is sort of a hill there already. The property generally, the southwest corner is the highest, and it slopes towards the north and towards the east, of providing a little bit of additional buffering along that area, even if it's a single line of arborvitaes or
Pine, spruce or some type of
Yep.
evergreen.
So I think on this plan, the south side is actually on the top of the plan, and the north side's on the bottom of the plan. So if you go up, I think that's the. So I want to say there's a small area there where they are proposing evergreens. But then past that, they're mostly keeping it. There is existing vegetation there. The trade-off is that there is some potential that to do additional buffering on the southwest side may require the removal of some existing vegetation.
Okay. Yeah, that's another, whatever we can do to get some screening, additional screening, I think would be helpful.
Yeah.
We can.
Okay.
Terry's not here. You want to
Yes,
do the honors?
I will. Per our discussion, I'll move that we continue tabling this project.
I'll second.
Hetzke,
Hetzke, aye.
Aken,
Aken, aye.
Burton,
Burton, aye.
Kanauer.
Kanauer, aye.
All right, application number 3 is 1150 Penfield Road. So at the last meeting, the board did have a discussion with the applicant regarding some updates to the site plan, specifically regarding removing the meeting center building and doing a little bit of reconfiguration there. So they have come back with revised plans. Those revised plans do remove the meeting building. They're shifting the parking also a little bit further west, so they stay out of the 50-foot buffer, required buffer between the BNR and residential zoning district. Other than that, they are, with the meeting building gone, they are still proposing to keep the landscaping that they had proposed to be along that area where the meeting building was cited for as part of the landscape plan. So it will still provide additional buffering to the north, given that there is a proposed parking lot still with headlights facing towards the northeast, towards the Sable Oaks community.
Okay. So significantly smaller than originally proposed.
I want to say there's only a reduction of about 5 parking spaces, but they did remove the roughly 2,000 square foot meeting center.
Does anybody have any concerns on this project?
Not anymore.
No.
So, I mean, I'd be ready to get it approved with a condition. I know that the fire marshal and they are going back and forth a little bit on that, but if we condition.
Yeah, so they're still discussing with the fire marshal about location. So given the distance, the building is close to several hydrants. Both of those hydrants that it's close to are in non-ideal locations. Old Penfield Road drops off, so it's a significant slope on the one on the north side, and then the one on the east side, or west side, is further towards Gentles, and the one on the south and east side on Sable Oaks, they don't like crossing across the road like that for access to a hydrant, so they are looking at bringing a hydrant closer to the building. That is still an ongoing discussion with the Water Authority and the Fire Marshal's office.
Okay. So
we could condition, if you guys are comfortable with it, we can condition the approval on receiving the approvals of, because both agencies are going to be required to sign the plans, the Monroe County Water Authority and the Fire Marshal, and neither will sign the plans until they're comfortable. So if you guys are good with it, we can condition it on that.
okay, so we need somebody to move that I can approve the EAF.
Yep, the negative declaration for the unlisted action.
So moved.
I'll second.
Hetzke,
Hetzke, aye.
Aken,
Aken, aye.
Burton,
Burton, aye.
Kanauer.
Kanauer, aye.
Okay, and then if somebody could move to approve with those conditions that we discussed.
Sure, so moved with those conditions.
I'll second.
Hetzke,
Hetzke, aye.
Aken,
Aken, aye.
Burton,
Burton, aye.
Kanauer.
Kanauer, aye.
All right.
All right. Application number 4 is Bramble Ridge Section 4 at 35 Apollonia Lane. So staff has been in discussion with the applicant's engineer on this application. Prior to the last meeting, they had submitted a response to the board and to PRC, but did not have revised plans. They're still working on those revised plans, and they anticipate being able to submit in time for the 9/25 work session in 2 weeks. But they did want to provide a couple of updates on the project. They have been working with the fire marshal on that one as well, because the project is proposing a private drive off of cul-de-sac. Again, that's one where there's distance to fire hydrant. From my understanding, in their discussions with Monroe County Water Authority, the Water Authority is not supportive of extending another dead-end main for a hydrant down there, so they are proposing to sprinkler the houses to meet fire code. They've updated the stormwater calculations. They're currently being reviewed by the engineering department. And since they did receive a positive jurisdiction letter from the DEC regarding the wetlands, they have done a new delineation, and they're going to be shifting I believe, the septic system for Lot 404, which is the easternmost lot, to be extra sure that it is outside of the buffer area.
Okay. Jim, do you have any comments at this time on this application?
No, we understand that we're waiting for some final revisions, and this time we'll continue tabling.
You want to move that?
I will.
I'll second.
Hetzke,
Hetzke, aye.
Aken,
Aken, aye.
Burton,
Burton, aye.
Kanauer.
Kanauer, aye.
Okay.
That's all the tabled applications we have.
All right, so as I mentioned at the beginning of the meeting, once we finish the tabled agenda, we'll move directly into the public hearing portion of the evening. So we have 2 applications tonight, and what we would ask is that the applicant choose which table they want to present from, and come on up, get yourself set up. Doug will read the application, and then you can start. The way our process works is applicant will give us an idea of the application, board will ask questions, and then I will open it up to the audience. And those of you who cannot make it, if you haven't been able to make it to Town Hall, you can call in at 340, where's the phone number? Usually there's a phone number right here that I can just read, but
340-8640.
340-8640, area code 585.
That's 585.
Country code 1, in case you are one of the oodles of people watching from overseas on the web, on our streaming services. Alternatively, if you're not here and would like to make a comment about any of the applications, you can submit something electronically. Go to the Penfield website, www.penfield.org. There should be a link to this meeting, and there's also a link to the planning department and all the ongoing applications. So with that, Doug, please read the first application.
Public hearing application number 1, McMahon LaRue Associates, 822 Holt Road, Webster, New York, 14580, on behalf of Penfield Country Club, Inc., requests under Chapter 250, Article 12-12.2 and Article 13-13.2 of the Code of the Town of Penfield for preliminary and final site plan approval and modification to an existing conditional use permit to construct an 8,000 square foot metal maintenance building, the demolition of an existing maintenance building, and other associated site improvements on 188.6 acres located at 1784 Jackson Road. The property is now formally owned by Penfield Country Club, Inc. and zoned rural residential RR1, application number 25P-0011, SBL 124.02-1-40.1.
Good evening, Greg McMahon from McMahon LaRue Engineers. I'm here representing Penfield Country Club. The project being proposed by the Country Club is the demolition of their main maintenance structure that currently houses the offices, the locker room, the restroom facilities for the maintenance staff. It's old and significantly deteriorated, and the club would like to erect a new facility, larger. It will house offices, break room, locker room, and a fair amount of indoor storage, so for winter storage and maintenance of a lot of the equipment that now either is stored outside or in some auxiliary buildings. This building will be built adjacent to a structure that was approved by you and built just a couple of years ago in the same area as all of the maintenance facilities are right now. We met on site with several members of the Conservation Board and walked an area, a wooded area that is proposed to be cleared for this. We did receive PRC comments and responded to those comments and submitted revised plans addressing those comments. There is no parking associated with this facility. The staff, there is a parking lot just adjacent to this. It's an overflow lot for the golf course, and parking will remain in that parking lot. We're not talking about an increase in staff for, this is just a more modern facility to accommodate the staff that they now have. And with that, I guess I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Kelly, you want to
Yes.
start us off?
Sure. Thank you. Could you show the aerial view again? What part of this, where is it going?
Okay, there is get my directions, a green roof building where the cursor is right now, which is the existing facility that's going to be demolished.
Where's the cursor?
Yeah, I don't see the cursor.
The top one, I'm thinking, right?
Yes, that
That one right
Yeah.
there?
So
That-
north is at the
That-
top of the
that's-
screen.
Yes,
The-
that
the
building.
north building will be
Yeah,
demolished.
that building will be removed. Now, you see just below, and as I look at it, to the right of that, is another green roof building. This building will be just approximately 8 feet north of that and extend north into, and as I mentioned, a wooded area, partially wooded area there that will be cleared for this, and that's the location of the building. That lower building is the existing. There is going to be because of the elevation difference, if we had tried to match elevations, we would have ended up with a lot more clearing and having to bring a lot of fill in there. So there'll be a small connector between the two buildings, but steps down to get into this new building. And, but it will be a separate structure, not connected other than that walkway, companionway there into the other building.
Okay, so the one building's completely going to be removed. This
Yes.
building's going to be added, but connected to the other building.
Just connected
Essentially.
by a passageway.
Okay.
Just to allow during the winter months to walk between the two buildings without having to go outside.
And what part of that green space is being removed?
Well, area-wise, we're removing approximately 19,000 square feet of wooded area. It's 0.43 acres.
Okay.
Based on our plan and calculations, and that was the area that we did walk with the Conservation Board.
Okay, and what did I mean, I see what their observations were in their memo, but, I'm just trying to get a general feel of any issues that might arise in clearing that much.
There was, I haven't seen their memo, but from my observation, I was there with them, a lot of secondary growth. There was a lot of downed lumber, damaged lumber. There were maybe what you might consider a half a dozen or so larger trees that would need to be removed. But for the most part, it was second growth and just clearing up a lot of storm rubble
Okay.
from the ground area.
So EECC, our Conservation Board, the Energy and Environmental Conservation Committee, meets just prior to the Planning Board from 4:30 to 6. They approved that memo at that meeting, and it will be provided to the applicant
Okay.
probably tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And in terms of design, is it going to look like the buildings that are already there?
Yes.
So it's going to look pretty seamless
Pretty
and
similar,
everything?
yeah.
I know you can't really see this building from the road, from Jackson Road. Are there any houses along the perimeter of the golf
No,
course that
there's-
can see this building that?
It's separated, well, you can see on the aerial photograph, the large amount of wooded area there between that building and any residential. And They're really, even from the clubhouse, it's kind of down in the hill. You don't see very much. It's set off to the side purposely, but it is in a location that's convenient for the operation of the golf course.
Okay. I don't have any more questions at this moment.
Anybody else on the board?
Yeah, I've got some questions, Greg. Kind of equipment is going in this storage and warehouse area on the left side of the plan?
The new building,
Yeah.
in the north end of it where we show the storage, it'll be, as I understand it, it'll be lawn mowing equipment. They do a lot of winter maintenance on their equipment. And if I understood a conversation, and I'm not 100%, I believe they're also transitioning some of their equipment to electric. So that they may need some facilities for that, but it's a large part of that is mainly for winter maintenance, to bring the equipment inside so they can do all the maintenance they need to do. They have, as I say, lawn tractors, they have backhoes, they have spray equipment. They have a whole variety of equipment used in the lawn and course maintenance that does get used heavily in the summertime, but as I say, they worked, the course staff works 12 months a year, and those winter months are spent doing maintenance on equipment.
Sure. So I'm a little concerned with the fuel load and ignition sources, and small engine repair, and, some of these things to have fuel tanks on them and so forth. So I don't see where they're caused. Kind of hard to say, but it does not appear that there's a fire barrier going in between that maintenance area and the locker room, toilet rooms immediately adjacent. So something you may want to mention.
Yeah, that would be an architectural issue, a building code issue, which, again, I can't really address myself. But, that's certainly something that the architect will be taking into consideration.
Yeah. That's all I see.
Bob, anything?
Yeah, would you be using existing dumpsters for refuse, or will it be additional?
I wouldn't envision any additional dumpsters. The operation is not changing, just the facility is being upgraded. Again, I can't speak for I wouldn't anticipate any additional dumpsters. What they currently have, if those suffice, what this building is providing is not going to increase the trash load.
I mean, I could see a dumpster being put on site for demolition of that one building to get rid of the construction.
Yeah, for the
There will,
demolition.
I'm sure, be
The
one-
temporary things.
Right.
that type of a dumpster.
Yeah, I just didn't see in the plan any additional, so I'm assuming that you're going to use existing. Yeah,
No, they're the existing dumpsters, and they have the existing concrete bunkers that contain things like mulch and sand and the products they use in maintaining the course.
okay. That was it.
All right. Does anyone in the audience like to comment on this application? Check and see if there's any calls. Okay, we don't have any calls or electronic submissions, but those of you who would like to make a comment, you can, for the next, 7 days or so, submit an electronic submission. Thank you for your presentation, and unless the board has any additional questions, we can move on to the next item.
Thank you.
All right, application number 2, Forum Architecture, 1851 Stone Road, Suite 102, Rochester, New York, 14615. On behalf of Clifton Land Company, LLC, requests under Chapter 250, Article 12-12.2 of the Code of the Town of Penfield for preliminary and final site plan approval to construct a new 4,500 square foot commercial building and associated parking on .68 acres at 1600 Penfield Road, Penfield, Rochester, New York, 14625. The property is now formally owned by Clifton Land Company, LLC, and zoned General Business, GB. Application 25P-0012, SBL 123.20-2-47.
Mr. Chairman, I will be recusing myself from this application.
Okay.
Is that something I said? Or gonna say? Is this on?
Yeah, but a lot of times we got to speak right into them, otherwise
Okay.
nobody can hear us.
And I'm really bad at that.
You got to be like a front man in a rock band or something, and like really talk into the mic.
Yeah, see? Hello, my name's Jeff Ledoux. I'm architect with Form 2 Architecture. Also here is Dave Clements with Clifton Land Company, the owner of the property. We're here to speak to the board regarding property located at 1600 Penfield Road. We're asking the board's consideration. This is a project that was previously submitted and approved. We're asking the board to approve the site plan in its previous configuration with modifications presented to the building itself. The building, as currently proposed in the rendering shown, is basically a different aesthetic and architecture from what the board saw at with the last package. Some background, I'm sure everyone is familiar with the site. It's a site that has sat vacant. It was home to dry cleaners. Site does have, from the standpoint of testing, has remediation that has to happen as part of the project. Basically, conceptually, the idea is that the building proposed is basically the same footprint of and basically on the existing foundation that's there on site. So other than access from stairs, ramps into the building proper is the same as it was, or size-wise, which is approximately 4,500 square feet. The proposed use is a professional office building. The understanding is that it would be, obviously it wouldn't want to limit the tenancy of the building in terms of numbers, but the building has been laid out to accommodate 2 primary tenants, 1 or 2. Each tenant, if there was 2 tenants in this case, they would each have their own entrance. So depending on how that sort of evolves, moves forward, that we've sort of mitigated just 2 at this time, don't anticipate more than that. But again, you know, if it was 3, it was 3. But the idea being it would all be fitting with the general business and professional office building environment. We tried to provide a building that was street friendly. There's a porch element that's basically part of it aesthetically. We've added windows on all sides so that from basically how the tenants may use the building, you'd have offices with windows and such. So we tried to make it, at least long-term, as flexible as possible. Material-wise, I've brought samples. It's basically would be a white board-on-board. There's a stone base, which is it's a Tennessee limestone. This would be similar to what I have here. There's the darker metal would be in this, basically this sort of color aluminum. The proposed roof is to be lighter in this range. The wood would be to match this stain here that's shown. And the frames currently would be black or a dark anodized aluminum, similar to what I'm showing here. We are showing some planters that came up as part of a PRC comment, which, to mention, we are in receipt of the comments. They have not been addressed. We will address them. I think most of them were, at least from my estimation, minor in nature. A lot of it was, unfortunately, on the site plan side, carryover of some signature lines, wrong people's names, and certain sheets not having the proper signature lines, but we will address those. One of the comments, and why I bring that up, was regarding the planters. So there is a landscape plan. One of the elements that we've sort of incorporated is to have sort of a built-in planters to add some elevated plantings to soften the building edge. The building is in the floodplain, so we will be addressing that. We will be citing the building to basically meet the regulations for the district. And that's why the building sits higher with the ramps and stairs, and the planters are basically, or the idea conceptually is to, again, soften that edge. There was a question as to the plantings, that those haven't been determined. I would assume that they would be sort of a low perennial cover, but we'll provide that information with the comments. Again, there was a question regarding the dumpster in relation to the building currently presented. So what we would like to do is use the same proposed enclosure, but we would go with basically a stained hardwood that would basically be similar to this, basically the front of the building, not the white, which isn't called out on the drawings. And if it met the board's approval, we would make sure that that was identified properly on the drawings. Again, from the standpoint of site, there was some variances granted. I think one of the main ones was parking, and we will include all that as what was approved with variance as part of the submitted drawings. I was in error. I removed those in the submission. I should have left them on. We do have those, and we'll provide those as part of the package. But that is basically it in a nutshell. I think, again, we're asking that the owner is looking to start work right away. It's obviously been a project that has been ongoing, but there is a push to get it over the hump in construction. So the hope is that the previous site plan, as approved, would meet the board's approval now, and that the new building facade and look will also meet that, your review. So with that, I'll leave it to the board for questions.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. Bob, do you want to start off?
Sure. The roof, architecturally, is that a standing seam, or
Yes.
what's?
It would be a standing seam.
The plantings, you said would be in those planters. Is there any other landscaping around the building, or is it just in the planters?
No, there's a landscape plan where we've got, we would
Maybe I
have,
missed it.
we would have sort of low, well, that was really what we were trying to mitigate, was the providing that as the landscape features around the building. as
Okay, the
opposed to-
planters, yeah.
Yes, as
Okay.
opposed to the, what we'll say called out is the immediately, that were sort of low to the building. So we were trying to elevate that element, so that would basically replace the, what's called out along the building.
Given the existing conditions on the site, there's limited that they could do in terms of putting plantings into the ground, given the remediation requirements and the remediation plan that was approved by the DEC previous to this application and as reviewed under the previous application.
Okay.
So,
Which
in
is
lieu
why
of
the
that,
planters is sort
the
of,
planters are being proposed.
Yep.
That circular, I guess, circular driveway, what's in the center of that?
That's the adjoining parcel where the ATM, the existing ATM is.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. How has the lighting plan changed from the previous building architecture to the new one?
Well, we'll have code-required lighting at any exiting. The addition would be the canopy. We would have basically recessed light fixtures there to light the canopy, downlights.
Okay, and are
So that
there-
wouldn't have been part of the original.
Yeah, because I think the photometrics were still on that one.
We'll have,
Red.
yes.
Okay. And I'm just curious, I don't remember, is there still monitoring wells there, or is it basically just sealed as a Browns field? Do we know?
So again, this is Dave Clements, owner of the property. We've been in the brownfield program now for quite a few years, probably 15-plus years, and it's a coordinated effort between the state and the town of Penfield. So it's a balancing act of trying to coordinate a design that incorporates a building that we can use and a suppression system to continue monitoring. Actually, to your questions, we'll be monitoring for, long into the future
Okay.
as a
so they-
requirement.
Those stay active?
And they're
for the-
incorporated in the design as well as the architectural features of the building because there's a suppression system in the building. Even though it'll be clean, we're required to monitor the system for many years. We've done the remediation. We've removed the source long ago. And so the final coordinated effort is the use to an approved use to a timeline. So the timeline is you have to finish it in a calendar year. You have to get your COC or C of O, COC both in one calendar year. So you have to kind of start it and finish it in a calendar year to benefit the brownfield program, which is what we're in, which we're the volunteers. We didn't cause the problem. We're just volunteers to clean it up, which we have to this point. Final step of the process is to get a coordinated use in front of the DEC, an approved use, and then we work with the DEC to implement our remediation plan and implement it. And our plan is to do that in 2026 to start and finish it so that our COC, C of O, COC, and COC happen in the same calendar year. And that's the state's requirement. So we have a plan. We have a plan with the DEC. This plan that we had from the approval in 2017, I think it was, or 18 maybe, on the site plan, we didn't have the ability to fulfill the tenancies, so we couldn't start the project. We're now in a position that we want to start and finish it in 2026. So therefore, the next step in our process is the reapproval by the town, the jurisdiction, and get a permit, and then we go back to the state with it, the Department of Environmental Conservation, and execute our plan. So some of the questions you have about reusing the existing footprint, the hardscape that's there has to remain as a cover system. It's all part of our remedial efforts. So we're limited on what we can do with the hardscape and the building footprint.
Right.
We incorporate a lot of design and remedial efforts into both, and that part is in the state's approval. We have that. So the next step is this, and then we go back to the state with an approval, and then we can construct.
Okay. Thank you.
You bet.
Yeah, so essentially, you're looking for reapproval of the approved site plan, and the building itself is really just simply updated to, let's say, architectural design styles of today versus what was originally approved. Would that be a
Well said.
fairly accurate?
Very
Yes.
well, very well
Statement.
said, yes, exactly. We're only updating the architectural features to make it more attractive and more current to the styles of the times and areas that we live in, so.
And otherwise, it's the same as what was approved before?
Correct.
Okay. Any questions?
Not really, just out of curiosity, when you showed the inside of, when you showed the building and you showed the inside, is it going to be like two separate two separate rooms for two different tenants, or is it just one big open building?
It's represented, marketed as one open building that can be, can be set up and designed for the use of a second tenant. So far, we found that the space is a large space for a single tenant. So the interest that we have shown is not for all of it. So how we partition that up after an approval will be subject to our tenants.
Okay. Just
And
curious. I like the way it looks, though. It looks modern.
Yeah.
Better than it did, yes.
Okay. Anyone in the audience care to comment on this application? And once again, if you're not here, 585-340-8760, 8670, what is it? 8640. Sorry, 8640.
Bingo.
And you can also comment electronically on the website, penfield.org, and there should be a link to this meeting. Going once, going twice. Okay, thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
And we'll call this hearing closed. We just have a
Move back into the work
quick
session.
little work session to go through these items. How do you guys feel about this building?
Oh, it looks nice.
Do you have
It's
any
attractive. Yeah, I like it a lot.
issues with just getting it approved?
No.
And-
I have no issues.
Okay. It's yours, right? No.
To-
Yeah,
No.
it's yours, isn't it?
Yeah, to that end, staff has drafted a negative declaration and a Part 2, Part 3 EAF. It does mirror a lot of the information from the original 2017 application. The resolution likewise, we will template it off the 2017 approval. There's really no, it'll be updating facts and figures. As I said, like the PRC memo.
Yeah, I'd
It's almost
say,
all is
you know,
updating information, like the
add
contact
some-
information had Doug Fox on it, who's been long retired. from
Yeah,
the town.
condition
So-
the landscape details and,
Yeah.
what's proposed to go in there. But otherwise,
Yeah,
maybe approve the EAF and
yes. I move that we
authorize.
authorize to prepare the EAF.
or
I'll second.
Sign the EAF.
and
Hetzke?
sign.
Oh, sorry. Hetzke,
Hetzke, aye.
Aken,
Aken, aye.
Kanauer.
Kanauer, aye.
Okay,
And move that we prepare a table, or a
approval
approval resolution
and approve it.
and approve it.
I'll second.
Hetzke,
Hetzke, aye.
Aken,
Aken, aye.
Kanauer.
Kanauer, aye.
Okay. Build away.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Penfield Country Club. Need DEC wetland stuff on that too, right?
I think
Or
they're
no?
far enough out that they.
We don't?
that they're-
We've told them, I believe, that since they're, well, the DEC's told us that if they're 100 feet outside the informational line, that they don't need to submit a JD.
Okay,
So we took that and we basically told them that same information. I think we're comfortable enough that they are outside the wetlands and don't need to go that route.
okay. Are there any other concerns that we have on this?
So with the memo
Application.
from EECC, they will be removing some trees from within the woodland area as part of the town's recently approved tree replacement policy. Based on the amount of disturbance, they'll be required to replace 2 trees as part of the project. So we did draft a condition for the tabling resolution that that informs them of that one, just because they will be getting the memo now that the EECC has approved it, and letting them know that it needs to be, the 2 trees need to be shown on the plan so that the engineering department can follow up on it post-approval.
Okay, is there any other,
Just the firewall question.
Well, the reason I brought that up is because for engine repair facilities are allowed a very small fire area without either being separated by a fire barrier or sprinklering the space. So, from a site plan approval process, if they need to sprinkler that, then, up goes the size of the water service, and, now they're building a riser room, and, so there's a lot of things that change with respect to the utilities. So I'm gonna just double check
Okay.
that tomorrow. But the problem with those things, as you know, Doug, is oftentimes by the time the fire marshal or the building official gets to that level of review of the building application, the utilities are already in, and now you got a little bit of a problem. I imagine that existing building might have a 1.5 inch water service is all, and they would need a minimum 4 inch. So I'm gonna just double check that is all. Other than that,
Okay.
this to me is a no-brainer. This
Pretty
is
straightforward.
You can't see it from anywhere. It's a nice little.
yeah, you could be in the back of the
Yeah.
clubhouse and
Yeah.
in that loop and
Yeah,
have no
I know
idea
the
this
I know
stuff's
the
back
building, and the building is not in good shape.
So, do we table
Pending a draft
and
approval.
get the EAF prepared and an approval resolution prepared for hopeful
For the
approval
25th?
at the next work session?
Yeah, if you guys are comfortable with
You
it.
guys good with that?
Staff doesn't have any outstanding concerns?
Yeah, I mean, we, as far as the engineering side.
Pretty
if
straightforward.
Yeah, it's straightforward. We don't have any concerns. It's all minor technical things that can be handled. So, but otherwise, if the water service needs to be revised, then yeah, we would want to see that on the plan, so. But we wouldn't necessarily review that. That would be the water authority anyways, and the health department.
Okay. You good with that course of
Yeah,
action?
makes perfect sense, yeah.
You too?
Yes.
Good, okay. You want to move to table based on the,
Yeah. So it's,
preparation of?
Tabling based on the preparation of Part 2, Part 3 EAF and a negative declaration, and a draft approval resolution.
Yeah, so moved.
So moved.
I'll second, Bob.
Okay.
Snooze.
Got to get his
You're
name in the
good.
minutes.
So Hetzke,
Hetzke, aye.
Aken,
Aken, aye.
Burton,
Burton, aye.
Kanauer.
Kanauer, aye.
Okay. Any other business?
That's all the business I have for tonight.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for coming. Thanks, everyone, for watching, and we will stand adjourned.